Alright, hey guys, KG7YTS here with another review, take 478. Long story. So yeah, well, today's review is on the LA Police Gear Pocket Trauma Pack. This is actually pretty cool. It's manufactured by Adventure Medical Kit, so you know it's going to be good quality. And even evident by the packaging, it is high quality. This packaging is resealable, and it's a thick, durable plastic, I guess. It's not your normal sandwich bag. It is a good resealable bag. On one of the ones I received, the zipper was melted, but there's nothing anybody could do about it, because it was obvious from shipping. I'm guessing they placed it too close to the hottest part of the vehicle. But anyway, that's not a big deal. So I already have it opened up since this is the 478th take on it. So I'm just going to pull everything out right here, and then I'll show you one at a time. Oh, that was a nice save. Alright, so yeah. It's empty. Can't even remember what order it was all in there, so I'm just gonna show it to you as I pick it up. But anyway, so what I first pick up right here is 2, 4, and 6 antiseptic towelettes. So these are like what you would use to clean up around or clean up a scrape and stuff like that. Of course, you're not gonna have very many scrapes for the intended application for this trauma pack, but I mean, it could come to good use for everything, cleaning anything off, trauma shears or something, I don't know. But so yeah, that being said, this trauma pack is a trauma pack, like a major bleeding pack, so it's not going to have your normal band-aids that you would have for a scrape and stuff. It's not a boo-boo kit. This is a legit trauma pack for gunshot wounds, stab wounds, major wounds, stuff like that. So next up here, we have a triangular bandage. This thing is so versatile. You can use it as a tourniquet. That's the word I'm looking for. You can use it as a tourniquet. You can use it as a sling, in conjunction with a splint. It's very, very good thing to have in any trauma kit, no matter what size. It's definitely a good idea to have one of those on you. And then the next thing I pick up here is a first aid guide. This is really great. I find this to be worth $20 or more, like probably way more, because the information in this thing is very valuable. This goes into the most detail I've ever seen in any first aid kit, because I'm guessing other Adventure Medical Kit first aid kits have this in it. It's just I've never actually had an Adventure Medical first aid kit before. I've used stuff that from the kits that's very high quality and different things I've attended, so but yeah, I never had to really do anything major. But you know, my idea for a first aid kit is to have it. If you don't need it, fine, but always have it, because the minute you don't have it, you're gonna need it. So next up here is let me see if I can get this to show up. A 5x9 or this thing's so confused. A 5x9 inch combine pad. So this is combine pad. Basically, it's a gauze pad. So this could be folded over for more heavy bleeding and stuff like that. And then next up are 2 4x4s. In almost any trauma kit, you're gonna find these. In trauma kits, you're gonna find a lot of different things, but these are most common in there, simply because they're not too big and not too small. And then we have one of these sterile non-woven sponges 2 by 2 inches. It's basically the same thing as the gauze. So yeah, there's all of that, and those are all sterile. And then next up here is some rolled gauze. If you can see that, it's got a handy opening tab thing, and that also has many uses. I carry non-sterile gauze with me in my first aid kit because I've already had to use it a lot. But anyway, this one's sterile. Then next up you have duct tape. Like, this is the best thing to have with you anytime. Carry some paracord, carry some duct tape, and you are good to go. Those two things can pretty much fix anything. And then lastly here is some nitrile gloves. These are the latex-free medical gloves that doctors, EMTs, firefighters use. And they're the normal blue. They're not the tactical black like I've seen in some trauma kits, but they're gloves. What does it really matter? And latex free is good because a lot of people nowadays are having latex allergies, so it's good to have nitrile so you don't end up making somebody giving somebody a worse condition than they had. Sorry, let me adjust my chair. Sorry for getting up close. But anyway, now cool thing about that is with the resealable package, you're going to be able to get your band-aids in there, so that way you can have them with you too. You can like literally put a lot of stuff in there that's not included depending on how you put it all back in. Sometimes it doesn't fit too well, but that doesn't really matter. You could fit a few band-aids in there. Now, what you could also do is, I'm not sure if you've seen those, but there's CPR face shields that you, when you're doing CPR, you put it on the face, so that way there's a protective barrier from airborne pathogens when you're doing CPR, the rescue breaths from CPR on somebody. Now, I would recommend not doing the rescue breaths unless you're trained to do it, because you don't want to overexpand somebody's lung. That's a bad thing. So only do the rescue breaths if you are trained to do so. Now, the compressions in CPR, those are relatively easy to learn, but I recommend you get certification anyway, because it's just a useful thing to have. And honestly, I've taken like 30 CPR classes, and I've been certified once, but all of those classes, I've taken it, and that just helps me keep in my mind how to do it, because you don't want it to be one of those things whatever, I learned that once, I don't need to learn it again. You should always be keeping that fresh in your head, because you never know if you could forget it. Now, one thing mentioned in the medical guide thing is for sucking chest wounds. That's like for a gunshot that enters the lung. There's going to be all that air rushing in through there, which could actually, it may seem odd for it to be able to do it, but it can actually collapse a lung. So anyway, what you do is you improvise a chest seal if you don't have some actual ones. But you take this, you cut it into two pieces, and what you do is you get your two 4x4s. So you do one 4x4 directly on the skin to absorb any blood that's there. Then you do one side of the packaging, and then you take some duct tape and tape it down on three sides. So what that's going to do is it's going to keep all that air from rushing in there and collapsing the lung. And then if the person is breathing normally, then say if something were to happen and the lung were to start to overexpand, it couldn't, because since it'll be open on the third side, it'll be able to push the extra air out. So yeah, that's really great about it. And of course, if it's a gunshot, chances are there's probably going to be an exit wound on the back. So unless you feel like it's going to be that the gunshot is like right near the spine and you don't feel comfortable moving them, I'd suggest turning them over and then doing the same thing on the back. Now, one thing this medical kit is really great for is if you go to the range a lot, you never know when a gun could misfire. You never know when somebody could accidentally shoot themselves in the foot. It is always a good idea to have one of these kits with you, so that way you're ready if anything happens. And I mean, even if you don't even carry a gun, you never know what situation you could find yourself in. That pack is so useful, and today with all the active shooters going on, it's really great to have one of those, so that way, like, without putting yourself in the harm's way, you can be able to help people. Now, I want to give a quick shout out. This one is to, fairly big YouTuber, but still I like giving shout outs. I would like to give a shout out to Skinny Medic. He is probably the reason I started becoming interested in medical stuff. But anyway, Skinny Medic, he's got a great channel, all sorts of tips on medical stuff, how to improvise a chest seal, how to do a bunch of different things, open an airway and stuff like that. He is really great, and I love his motto, you never know when you're going to be the first responder. And that is an awesome philosophy, and one reason why you should always carry a medical kit, because you never know when something's going to happen. So it's very important to have something with you in case something does. Who knows, you could go your entire life and nothing could ever happen that you would need it. But then there could be that one day that you don't have anything with you, and then it all goes down. So yeah, it's really, I believe it's really important that you should have a medical kit with you. I carry one, like, daily. And I mean, you don't have to keep this in your pocket. It may be a bit big with everything in it to fit in your pocket. But if you've got cargo pants, military uniforms, police uniforms, tactical pants, it's going to be able to fit into a cargo pocket. And it'll be able to fit into a bag or a purse if you're a lady. It's really great to have one of these. So yeah, special thanks to LA Police Gear for sending out 3 of those trauma packs for a medical kit I'm building for mostly for different church events, so that way there's a more portable medical kit than just a drawer with a whole bunch of medical stuff in it. But yeah, thanks to them for donating that, and of course, as you know, like, comment, subscribe. And of course, links are going to be down below, and LA Police Gear is doing a $2,500 gift card giveaway, and I will leave a link to where you can enter that below. And as I said, the kit itself is $10. It's well worth the price. It's probably worth more, but $10 is an awesome price for it. And if you ever need medical advice, go to Skinny Medic's YouTube channel. It is awesome. Hi, Skinny Medic, if you're watching. But anyway, so, well, I'll see you in the next review. This is KG7YTS, and I am clear. Dun dun dun.